What's going on, guys? It's February 27th, which means Happy Pokemon Day. And as is tradition on Pokemon Day, we got ourselves a Pokemon Presents to watch. Now, I did want to watch this live with everyone when the video came out, but unfortunately, I live on the west coast of the United States, and I barely get enough sleep as it is. So instead, I'm recording this on my lunch break because time is of the essence, and I'm really excited to see what this Pokemon Presents has to offer. Now, I don't think that we're going to be getting any announcements regarding something like Generation 10. Still feel like that's going to be a couple years off, but we should be getting some announcement about Legend ZA, and hopefully we'll get a couple other new things in here as well. Now, because I am a VGC player and usually just play like the mainline games, if there's something covering like the anime or even something like Pokemon Pocket, I think we're probably going to end up skipping over that, but anything that pertains to like a mainline game or VGC or something like that, we'll definitely react to. But just in case you guys are looking for something about the anime, I apologize that I'm going to be skipping over that, but again, we're going to be focusing on the things that I really appreciate about Pokemon. So I apologize ahead of time that this is going to be a little choppy, but again, super excited to see what this has to offer. So we'll get into the video, but before we do, as always, if you guys are new here, just tap in chat, please make sure to go down and hit the subscribe button. If you guys do enjoy the video, please make sure to drop a like too. But let's go, man. We got 19 minutes of announcements to come here, and I'm excited to see what they end up starting with. And this is a great start. All right, Pikachu, my lunch break is only a half hour. If we could hurry it up here a little bit, that would be great. One more smack. Come on, buddy. Or just a Thunder Shock. That works too.
Hello, everyone. I'm Ishihara from the Pokemon Company. Today, February 27, is Pokemon Day.
Hey, I said that earlier.
This is the date the Pokemon Red and Pokemon Green games were first released in Japan, marking the beginning of the Pokemon series.
Back in the good old days.
It's been 29 years since the birth of Pokemon.
It's crazy to
and
think
we've
about.
reached this milestone through the support of all you trainers around the world. Thanks to all of you, it's now possible to enjoy Pokemon each day in a variety of ways.
I sure do. Maybe enjoy is a loose term, but
new
you know.
Experiences to brighten your day-to-day lives with Pokemon. In today's broadcast, we'll be sharing all the latest news about Pokemon, including our newest titles.
Oh, baby,
Please
that's going to be
enjoy the
exciting.
presentation.
All right, now question is, where are we going to be starting?
It's the Netflix series Pokemon Concierge.
Anime. Okay, now that was cute, don't get me wrong, but come on, man, I want to see something about a game here.
Next, we have a number of other announcements to share with you.
Uh-huh.
In Pokemon Go, Pokemon
Okay,
Go Universal
all right.
will take place on March 1st and March 2nd. This event can be enjoyed at no cost from anywhere in the world where Pokemon
Great
Go
region,
is
too.
available. During the
Gen
event,
5
the
was
legendary
incredible.
Pokemon Black Kyurem and White Kyurem will appear
That
in raid battles
is honestly
and
going to be awesome.
Also, trainers will soon have a chance to encounter Victini and Shiny Meloetta. We'll also
Nice.
share promo codes for everyone to enjoy. We hope you're looking forward to the new Season 2.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie, like, Pokemon Go is something that, you know, I stopped playing for a couple of years, but recently started to pick it up again, just mainly, like, casually, and I think this is going to be extremely exciting. Again, going back to Unova and being able to get some of the Gen 5 Pokemon, especially like Black and White Kyurem, I think that's going to be extremely awesome. I have a hard time with the raids because finding a group of people to actually do raids with sometimes is a little difficult, but at the same time, having the chance to be able to potentially get them, I think is going to be really awesome. And I also see that Kubfu and Urshifu appear. I was kind of hoping they were going to stay out of other games, but unfortunately they're going to infiltrate Pokemon Go as well. Either way, that's a really cool update. And if you guys haven't seen the Unova Tour, if you guys play it, definitely go check it out because you should get some free legendaries. Are we going back to Gen 3 for this? I guess Gen 6, Gen 3? Oh. Master ZX, okay. Okay, you got me. That got me excited for a little bit because I did love Generation 6, even like the remakes of Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire. But damn, man, that got me excited for no reason. Oh, Cafe Remix. I know it's kind of a game, but again, not VGC or like mainline game. Ooh, hi, Darkrai. Is this something about dark Pokemon? Oh, is this Pokemon Sleep? Sorry, seeing so many people sleep here leads me to believe that's got to be something with Pokemon Sleep, right? Yeah. That's cool, though. I haven't played Pokemon Sleep, so I don't know much about that. But still, those two Pokemon are really incredible, too. Suicune? Like, they're going to make it a playable character? All right, okay. Now,
Remote Stadium will be returning to ranked matches. Enjoy
wait,
intense battles
returning?
in the unforgettable Remote Stadium. A new type of battle is also arriving.
Okay, I'm sorry. It just shows how long it's been since I've actually played Unite. This is the only battlefield I've ever played on, so it, again, just shows you how long it's been. I think that's really cool, but I'm surprised that we're actually getting to a point where we're going back to like a flashback of like, oh, the original stadium already. But still, I think this is really cool. It's a fun stadium, and actually makes me want to get back into the game and actually see what the new stadium looks like, too. The fact that they have 3 new Pokemon that are going to be coming out, which, again, were Suicune, Alolan Raichu, and Alchemy, I think is really awesome. Again, I just kind of had to get out of, like, the mainline game, you know, like, thought process of, wait, why are we introducing, like, a legendary with a bunch of, like, normal Pokemon? But, again, completely different as a MOBA compared to something like actual, like, Pokemon itself. So, again, I just need to get out of that mindset. I think this is really cool, though. Suicune was my favorite of the 3 legendary dogs, beasts, whatever you want to call them in Generation 2. So, I think that's really awesome. I know a lot of people that love to play Unite too, so again, seeing that they keep updating this as well is really, really awesome. I'm glad that they keep up with this too.
A new type of battle is also arriving, called First to 500. In it, a new feature called AOS technology allows you to gain special effects when you score a certain number of points. Plus, look forward to an updated map with updated wild Pokemon. The win condition is simple: be the first to score 500 points.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, the fact that they're actually introducing new game modes into this too, that's really awesome. They just love to keep it fresh, right? Pokemon Pocket. Nope, we are going to be skipping through this one. All right, sorry for skipping through Pokemon Pocket, but I spend enough money on actual cards as it is. I don't want to see anything from that too. They're not giving 2 Pocket updates back to back, are they? Or are these real cards? Okay. They're bringing back Mega cards? No shot! Oh, that's awesome! Okay, as someone who is a huge Gen 6 stan, and who actually loved collecting Pokemon cards back in that generation too, seeing Mega Pokemon cards come back is really awesome. Now, for those of you that actually play like TCG and actually play it competitively, I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing for you guys or something that you're excited about, but again, purely as a collector, I think that's really awesome. Mega Gardevoir, Mega Lucario, great start off the bat. That's going to be really awesome. I'm excited to see what some of the artworks are going to be, and what some of the like special illustration rares are going to be coming out in those sets. Is it going to be one set? Is it going to be multiple sets throughout the year? We'll just have to find out, right? But it's going to be exciting nonetheless.
Next, allow me to share some news about
Here
the Pokemon
we go.
series.
Thank you.
In the Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet games, we're celebrating Pokemon Day with a Rotom phone case giveaway.
A phone case. Thank you for that, I guess? Please tell me you're going to give, like, Violet Raging Bolts and
other in-game events to come. A mighty Meowscarada, Skeledirge, and Quaquaval will appear in a series of Terra Raid battle events.
That's cool, so keep in mind, that's going to be starting tomorrow on Friday.
And even more Pokemon are planned to appear in the future.
Oh, cool. Alright, that's cool. So it looks like they're going with all the, or I guess for the most part, a lot of the, like, pseudos. That's actually really cool. Again, I was kind of hoping, and I know this was going to be just a huge long shot regardless, but making like the Scarlet exclusive paradoxes, like again, Raging Bolt and all them available in Violet and vice versa with the Violet exclusives would be really awesome. I understand that is not going to make them money, but at the same time, it would have been great. I mean, for someone who only owns Violet, does not want to buy Scarlet, and refuses to take a Raging Bolt from someone else, it would have been really nice for me. But I'm going to have to just continue to play without Raging Bolt. But still, this is going to be really cool. The fact that they're coming out with the starters, all with the Mighty Marks, is really awesome. Starting with Meowscarada, which again is going to start tomorrow. It looks like each is going to be, what's that, a week and a half? Oh no, just a full week. So Meowscarada to Skeledirge to Quaquaval. That's gonna be really cool. If you guys are big on collecting like marked Pokemon and all that, especially these in these Terra raids, definitely a nice little battle schedule you want to follow. I'm sure you can always get like more rewards and all that when you go through each of the dens, and you're probably only going to be able to catch one, don't get me wrong, but you're probably going to have to go, or probably going to be able to go through more to get some more rewards. Curious to see what those rewards are going to be, but again, time will only tell. And again, the fact that they're coming out with like the pseudos for this, that's going to be really, really cool too. But again, we'll see how this ends up developing too. It's really awesome. Hopefully we can get Raging Bolt and Violet at some point. Can't wait to see the video. Oh, that brings back memories for me. Yep, the old connector cable, man. Telling you, with Wi-Fi, we are so just lucky nowadays. That used to be a pain back in the day. Hey, how'd they get footage of me crashing out when I was a kid? Oh, nice. So we're showing, like, the progression of, like, competitive battles? To current day. VGC Mobile? Wait, that can... Oh. Huh. Hello, Mega Evolution and Terra? What the hell is this? Pokemon Champions? Okay, hold on. Okay, because I want to say that this is going to be, like, I guess, maybe a part of VGC? If it's in development for the Switch and for Android and iOS, that's interesting. I'm going to be interested to see how that ends up working, because that's crazy. I don't even know where they're necessarily going with this. I'm hoping that they're going to explain a little bit more, but that's pretty cool. And the fact that they have Mega Evolution and Terra together happening at the same time, like, this almost brings me back to, like, that last season of Pokemon Journeys, the actual anime. That's really cool, though, although that Dendozo needs to kind of take a lesson from Greninja back in Gen 6 and realize it's going to be much tougher than that to take down a Mega Charizard. But regardless, it's still really cool. I wonder what they're going to do with that. Is this... Like, okay, you know what? Just let it play. If they explain something, they do. If not, we're just going to have to wait for more, and we can start trying to think about what that all could mean. But that's really interesting as well. What in the hell?
What you've just seen is the world's first glimpse of a new title, Pokemon Champions. This title will be focused on the Pokemon battles you know and love from core Pokemon games.
I think that's really cool.
Pokemon Champions will continue the tradition of pitting your skills against those of other trainers from around the world. But this time, we're aiming for these core-style battles to be enjoyed by more players than ever before.
It's totally understandable, which is why they're bringing it to mobile, I would assume.
The core games is carrying out the planning for this project, while development is being handled by the Pokemon Works. And Pokemon Champions will be coming not only to the Nintendo Switch family of systems, but to mobile devices too. You'll be
curious to see how that's going to end up working.
Play based on where you are.
It's like what people do with Showdown, right?
You can also connect with Pokemon Home.
Thanks
to this connectivity, you won't be limited to using Pokemon you can partner up with in Pokemon Champions. You'll be able to team up with Pokemon who joined you on your adventures in previous Pokemon games.
Okay, hold on then. So, the fact that this actually has connectivity to Pokemon Home means that you're... Okay, because, again, the fact that it was like a mobile thing, but the fact that they had linked it up with the Switch is where my disconnect kind of was. I'm like, because again, on the mobile, I know some people play Showdown on mobile and all that, so I'm like, is this kind of like that? But the fact that you can bring over Pokemon from Pokemon Home means that this might actually be like a full VGC experience. That's really cool. I wonder how they're going to make that work with like Pokemon Scarlet and Violet and like the rank ladder in that game versus what they do in Champions. But again, with so little information right now, like it's hard to figure out where they're going to go with it. But again, like, because like looking at Pokemon Go, you can only send from Pokemon Go into Pokemon Home, as a lot of you guys already know. So it's not like, you know, the ones that you catch in other games you're going to be able to use in like the competitive battles on Pokemon Go. But the fact that you can get Pokemon Go Pokemon and also connect the ones from Scarlet Violet, obviously because of Home, Sword, Shield, and some of the older games that have like that connection with Pokemon Home, that's going to be really interesting to see. If I'm being honest with you, I don't necessarily know if I want it to be a new platform for VGC. Mainly because I'm someone that isn't really great with change. So, you know, going from Scarlet Violet into a new game like Champions might be a little difficult. It's going to be a little bit of a transition, as it will be for everyone. But yeah, that's just my initial thought. Now, if they make this game much more friendly from a VGC perspective in terms of training up Pokemon, acquiring Pokemon, which obviously it'll be pretty easy if you can bring in some Pokemon from your other games. But if they make it easier from that perspective, I'm actually going to be really happy. Like, a lot of my qualms with building VGC teams is the time, the money, and the effort that goes into actually training up the 6 Pokemon for the team. Being able to get the items, being able to, you know, hyper train and things like that takes a lot of time. So if they make something a little easier in Pokemon Champions, and that's where they put VGC, I am all for it, 110%. If this is just a new platform to put it on, again, I'm a little on the fence about it because of my, I guess, adverseness to change. But also the fact that they're actually doing something specifically for battles and like separating it away from everything else is really promising. I mean, truly, those of us, you know, obviously who play VGC, we want more people to play. Like, it's more fun when there are more people playing. There's more challenges, more people to end up facing, and obviously being able to widen that spread just helps everyone out. So if this is really what they're doing, I think that is a huge step forward. That is awesome news for the VGC community because, again, this is only going to grow the game. It's not going to be like, hey, by the way, you know, spend $60 for this. This is where you're only going to play. By the way, also, you have to spend $60 to get connectivity to this old game to be able to bring Pokemon over, blah, 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 blah. Now, might there be some cost associated with this? Possibly. Again, we won't know until the game actually comes out or they give us more information about it. But at the same time, the fact that it is a mobile app as well, I would imagine that it's going to be like a free download. Could it be freemium, kind of like Pokemon Go and all that? Possibly. But again, until we actually see an extended trailer or, you know, I guess a bigger roadmap to this game, we're just not going to know. We can only just kind of guess. But again, no matter what, whether this is the new VGC platform, whether it's just something to kind of supplement the other Pokemon games for fun, whatever it may be, it actually expands the game. It's going to get more people to play, and it's just going to be a more exciting time in VGC in general. So, in my mind, no matter what kind of game this Pokemon Champions is, this is going to be a win-win. It really will. So I'm super excited to see more announcements about it down the line.
We hope forward to battling Pokemon trainers from all corners of the world.
Oh, I am.
Stay tuned for future announcements regarding the launch date of Pokemon Champions.
I'm excited. I wonder when that's going to be.
Next,
I would imagine it'll probably be in something like 2026, or they're developing it really quickly. We'll see.
Tomás Cortijo, please take it away.
New languages, huh?
Saludos a todos desde la nueva oficina de Pokémon en la hermosa Ciudad de México.
Oh, they have a new Pokemon office
Soy
in
Tomás
Mexico
Cortijo,
City. That's cool.
Director regional para Latinoamérica de The Pokémon Company International. El día de hoy estoy muy feliz de anunciarles que Pokémon Champions estará disponible en español latinoamericano
Nice.
desde el día de su lanzamiento.
Again,
De igual
expanding the
forma,
reach.
además de los 9 idiomas que los entrenadores y entrenadoras pueden elegir, Leyendas Pokémon ZA tendrá también la opción de jugarse en español latinoamericano. Esto significa
That's
que de aquí
awesome.
en adelante habrá 10 idiomas disponibles
Again,
para jugar.
expands the series and
Finalmente,
gets more
como ya
people into it.
mencioné con anterioridad,
That, again,
Las
win-win.
futuras expansiones del famoso juego de cartas coleccionables de Pokémon estarán también
I wish I could find
disponibles
Pokemon cards that
en
easily.
español de Latinoamérica. Localizar productos como Leyendas Pokémon ZA al español latinoamericano permitirá que millones de nuevos fans se unan a la comunidad global de
Nice.
Pokémon y se conecten con otros jugadores de formas nunca antes vistas. Como parte de The Pokémon Company Group, este es un claro ejemplo de nuestra misión de unir al mundo a través de Pokémon. Saber que los fans disfrutan aún más de jugar Pokémon en su idioma local nos permite explorar nuevas formas para deleitar a los jugadores de diferentes regiones y mercados como Latinoamérica.
Which is
Este
really
es un
important.
momento increíble para ser fan de Pokémon, sin importar en qué parte
No
del
truer
mundo te
words.
encuentres, por lo que no puedo esperar para unirme a todos ustedes en sus próximas aventuras. Nos vemos pronto.
Now, I'll be honest with you. The fact that Pokemon has been out for like 29 years now, like obviously I know it originated obviously in Japan, then made its way around the world and all that. But the fact that it's been 29 years and they haven't made a game available in that language yet is actually a little surprising. But at the same time, the fact that we're 29 years into Pokemon and we're still growing, absolutely incredible. Just shows the longevity of this entire franchise.
Here's the latest update on Pokemon Legends ZA.
All right. Last thing we got, of course, it's going to be a mainline Pokemon game. Kind of. A Legends game. Hello, Lumio City. One of my favorite cities in Pokemon. I'm not going to lie. Oh! Alright, okay, hold on one second. So we got our 3 starters here. Let's pause it on them. That's actually awesome. I'm surprised they actually went with 2 from the same generation. I'm not going to lie. By the way, just quickly, for those of you guys that aren't big Pokemon fans or you're just getting into Pokemon, this little green one over here on the left is called Chikorita. Chikorita was the Gen 2 grass starter from Johto. It evolved into Meganium and honestly is widely regarded as one of the worst starting Pokemon and one of the more forgettable Pokemon in the entire franchise. Now, those of you guys that are Pokemon fans, this little guy over here is Chikorita. Chikorita was the Gen 2 grass starter from Johto, evolved into Meganium, and is widely regarded as one of the worst starters and one of the more forgettable Pokemon. Now, myself, I actually really like Chikorita. Back when Gold Silver came out, back when I was in middle school a long time ago, Chikorita was the Pokemon that I ended up selecting. I thought that grass was going to be really awesome, and despite the fact that I know Meganium doesn't have the best stats from a battling perspective, I still thought it was a really great design, a really cool Pokemon. Besides, I still beat the game with it, so how bad could it really be? Please don't spam the actual stats for Meganium down in the comments, or if you do, just at least add a little joke to it. But I know, not the greatest stats in terms of battling, but again, still a really cool Pokemon to me, and one that I really appreciate. I know there's going to be a lot of hate that you guys are probably going to overhear over the next handful of months or a year before this game ends up releasing, but trust me, Chikorita is not as bad, and Meganium is not as bad as a lot of people are going to say. Just a little preface on that. But again, love Chikorita, love the fact that it's these 3 starters. I know it kind of seems like they're kind of going with starters that are a little, I don't want to say forgotten. Forgotten's probably not the right word for it, because obviously we all know Totodile, we know Tepig, we all know Chikorita, hopefully. But again, Pokemon that aren't necessarily used very often. It's not very often that you're going to see Feraligatr, Meganium, and even like Emboar either. I mean, if you're going to go with a fire fighting type, you got a couple better options. But again, still, 3 starters that I think are a little less used or less common than a lot of the other ones. So the fact that they went with those, I think is really cool. And honestly, I'm really excited for it. I might actually go Chikorita for old time's sake, but honestly, I'm a big fan of Totodile too. Meganium and Feraligatr are both Pokemon that I've used in VGC. I have videos of them here on this channel. So again, seeing them in the new game as new possible starters, really cool to me. Hi, Bunnelby. Just brings me back to Gen 6, and that makes me super happy. Oh, we're climbing the rooftops! Hey! Pokemon parkour! Parkour! I love it. It is kind of Pokemon parkour. I love it. Yeah, see, you're dodging out of the way, too. That's awesome. Hey, Mega Stones, baby! That's awesome. That is awesome. Again, me being the Gen 6 stan that I am, seeing Mega Evolution come back is really, really cool. I wasn't playing VGC back in Gen 6, so those of you guys that actually played VGC back then who have horror stories about Mega Pokemon, I'm very sorry. Hopefully this won't infiltrate VGC, but looking at Champions and the fact that they had Terra and Mega Evolution, something leads me to believe that it will. But either way, I still think this is really cool, and in fact, maybe this is the reason why they ended up going with those 3 starters. You know, they have all, obviously, final evolutions that aren't used extremely often, and, like, in Meganium's case, viewed as very weak. But if the starters are given Mega Evolutions, and they end up getting, you know, new moves, new abilities, new typings, potentially, to add to what they already have, that might actually save some of these guys. You know, we might actually be looking, 2 years from now and being like, man, we used to think that Meganium was a really terrible Pokemon in VGC. But again, time will only tell. I don't know if they're even going to do, Mega Evolutions for the starters, because I know back in XY, you didn't have Mega Evolutions for, the 3 starters that you had there. Yes, you had the Mega Evolutions for the original Gen 1 starters, but they weren't the starters that you could actually get in that game to start off with. So again, time will only tell what they end up doing with it, but the fact that there's a possibility that those 3 starters might get a Mega Evolution, and it might actually save them from a competitive standpoint, that's going to be really cool, and I'm excited to see what ends up happening with that. But seeing Mega Evolution in general, especially a lot of those right there, saw Ampharos up in the corner. One of my favorites right there. It just makes me super happy and super nostalgic, too. Oh! No shot! Wait, hold on. Does that mean that we're finally going to get closure on the story of AZ and Floette? Because I really hope so. That's going to be awesome. That's something that I've missed for a while now. I was hoping to get a little bit of closure and learn more about them, but maybe we will in this game a handful of years later. Nice. And as someone who wasn't a big fan of Legends Arceus, this actually makes me happy. Looks really exciting.
New title in the Pokemon series. The story takes place in Lumiose City, the largest
one of the best cities
region. Prism Tower stands tall at the center of this city of beautiful vistas.
That mean we're going to get to see Clement again?
These days, Lumiose is undergoing a high-tech urban redevelopment plan to turn it into a city that people and Pokemon truly share.
Cool. So I'm guessing that's after, like, the Lysander incident?
In Lumiose City to see the sights. You'll meet 3 Pokemon, one of which will become your first partner. Chikorita, Tepig,
Mega Meganium would actually be pretty dope.
You'll choose one of these Pokemon to accompany you on a new journey as you get to know Lumiose City and its inhabitants.
Nice. That's pretty cool.
Here are some of the colorful characters you'll encounter. When you arrive in Lumiose, you'll meet a new friend and ally, either Urbane or Tawny.
I wonder what's going to determine that.
Is run by AZ. You'll also meet his partner, Floette.
Awesome.
Lumios's redevelopment is
wait, hold on. Sorry. So, Ollie is just the one that runs the hotel? I was hoping we were potentially going to get a story. I mean, it's still possible that we will, but I can totally see this game coming out, you being able to get to that first hotel, you talk to AZ, and it's like, hi, how can I help you? And it's like, yeah, can you just tell me about your backstory? Tell me about everything that happened? And he just looks at you and goes, nope. How else can I help you? Like, that would be super upsetting because, again, like, it's cool that you're bringing back a Pokemon from, or, I'm sorry, an actual person from Gen 6 and putting it into this game, but without a backstory or anything like that, doesn't excite me too much. I'm really hoping that there is a story attached to him, but again, time will only tell.
You'll also meet his partner, Floette. Lumios's redevelopment is being managed by Quasartico Inc. You'll become acquainted with the company's CEO, Jet, and her secretary, Vinny. The different people you meet will make your time in Lumiose all the richer.
As they show the rich ones.
To help people and Pokemon coexist, the city has set up wild zones. These areas, located throughout Lumiose, give wild Pokemon habitats where they can thrive. To catch one of these wild Pokemon, aim carefully, then throw a Pokeball.
Okay, so it's very much like Legends Arceus then, huh?
If you're having a hard time catching one, have one of your Pokemon use its moves to weaken the target, making it easier to catch.
So like real Pokemon.
This game offers a style of Pokemon battling not seen in previous titles.
Uh-oh.
Moves can have a longer or shorter reach, or different areas of effect. So choose your timing and positioning carefully to gain the upper hand.
What is this, Pokemon Fortnite edition?
Lead your partner Pokemon through battles and dodge incoming attacks. Swap Pokemon if you
actually have to dodge yourself?
Moment to unleash a move. What's more, certain Pokemon can go beyond evolution by undergoing Mega Evolution.
Which is awesome. Look at that flowing hair on Ampharos. I love it.
The Mega Stone held by their Pokemon. The Pokemon will do more than
Mega Absol too. What a great Pokemon.
It will unlock a new level of power, turning the tide of battle in its favor. As Lumiose continues its
Swirlix
into a city that belongs to both people
makes
and
sense.
Pokemon,
Makes sense. Kalos.
Who knows what kinds of encounters and experiences will await you? Pokemon Legends ZA. Coming late 2025.
Late 2025. So what? December 31st? I'm kidding. It'll probably be sometime in like November, like late November. Ooh, Rotom phone. Huh. Ooh, okay. Okay, I like that little teaser. No clue what that was. That almost kind of looked like, what was this? Center Tower in Sword Shield. Also, obviously, it looks like the tower in Lumiose City as well. But is that going to be like a battle stadium? Is that going to be... I don't know, that's the only thing that comes to the top of my head right now. But either way, I like the fact that they gave you a little teaser right there. Something to look forward to and something to make all of us kind of, you know, something extra for all of us to kind of talk about and think about.
Pokemon Legends ZA is scheduled to release in late 2025.
So November or December.
We hope everybody can wait just a little longer for their adventures in Lumiose City to begin.
You should be able to.
That concludes our announcements for...
I would definitely say it's worth waiting than for them to come out with a game that should have, you know, had an extra couple months of development time, right? So I think we all can be okay with that.
Thank you very much for watching.
Well, thank you very much, and have a great Pokemon Day. I love this little sign-off, too. I'm so glad that they actually made Pikachu the mascot. I know originally it was supposed to potentially be, I think it was Clefairy, but they definitely went the right route with Pikachu. Don't get me wrong, Clefairy's cute and everything, but it ain't Pikachu. Either way, though, man, this was actually really cool. Again, no Gen 10 announcement, and again, I'm actually okay with that. I think that deserves some development time. Still think that a lot of the issues that happened with, like, Scarlet Violet with the bugs and everything really could have been avoided if they didn't put a lot of development time into Legends Arceus. I feel like if they would have designated that time to actually refine and work on Scarlet Violet, the game would have been a little less buggy. So the fact that they're not releasing Legends ZA and Gen 10 in like the same year or within like a year and a half of each other, I think that's good. I think that's going to be good. That's only going to give us a better experience with the new games that are coming out. So I'm glad that we didn't hear anything about Gen 10. I'm actually glad that they're adding a little bit time to Legends ZA and that development time. So I know we have to wait another, what would that be, like 9-10 months to be able to get it. But still, I think in terms of creating a game that is going to be fun to play and everything, I think adding the extra time is definitely going to be worth it. Now, again, me not being a Legends Arceus fan, there are a lot of things in the Legends game that aren't necessarily exciting to me. Like that new battle style, being able to kind of like run around, dodge things and all that. Like that's cool. In other games, it's just not the Pokemon experience I want to have. Now, other people are going to have different opinions about that, and that is totally okay. One thing that someone might like might be something that someone else dislikes, and vice versa. So, again, just because it's not something that excites me doesn't mean that it shouldn't excite you. If you love Legends Arceus, I think you're really going to love Legends ZA. It looks like they're going to really build on what they had in Arceus and make things a little bit better, add a couple new features. And again, the fact that they're actually adding Mega Evolution too, I think is super, super exciting. Now, I'm going to be interested, again, to see how that kind of translates over to VGC. But, again, we'll be able to tell once all of these games come out. And, of course, that new Champions game. Now, speaking of that Champions game, that's one that I think is going to be really exciting, too. I'm curious to see, again, the VGC integration, how that's going to kind of work with the ranked ladder on Scarlet Violet, and how things are going to work from, that perspective going forward. And the fact that there's going to be mobile access on that as well with like your phone, again, it just opens up new opportunities, but also raises a couple question marks about how things are going to end up working. Is this going to be a VGC platform going forward? Is this just going to be like a supplementary thing like Showdown? There are a lot of different options. And again, we'll find out more once they release more information about it. But for now, seeing something that is very geared towards battling and potentially VGC itself is super exciting. Not just for those of us that enjoy VGC, but also just for Pokemon in general. It's going to grow the game. It's going to get more interest in VGC, I would presume. And that just is good for everyone. Again, it's a win-win whether you play VGC right now, whether you're a shiny hunter, more eyes on Pokemon, no matter what, I guess, aspect of Pokemon we're looking at, is good for the game and good for everyone. So everyone should be excited about that Champions game. Whether or not you're a VGC player, still be excited about it because it's going to grow the game, and that truly is the most important thing. And again, we're almost 30 years into Pokemon, and we're still growing the game. I think that's incredibly exciting, and again, shows that longevity of this entire franchise and just how entertaining this is. And the fact that they keep, I don't want to say reinventing themselves, because they just come out with new things, and obviously they keep like the mainline games and everything kind of like on the same formula for the most part. So the fact that they're expanding by creating new things and not just by like changing the one original thing, I think is really cool. And like they said in the beginning, there's a lot to love for Pokemon fans. There's something for everyone in Pokemon. Again, whether you're a shiny hunter, whether you play VGC, whether you just like to play the mainline games, whatever it may be, it's an exciting time for Pokemon and Pokemon fans. It looks like the sport, looks like the game of VGC and the game of Pokemon in general is just going to continue to grow. They're making it more accessible to people, obviously in terms of languages, but also in people that maybe don't have a console. Maybe they can't, just don't have the money or the time to be able to go get a Switch, but you got your phone, you could just play it there. So again, making it more accessible to people is the name of the game, and thankfully they're doing that. That is the most important thing. Now, hopefully we can get some games without glitches in them and things like that, but, that's just development. For right now, though, despite the fact that I know there were a lot of bugs and issues with Scarlet and Violet, whether we see those same bugs and issues with any of these new games, you still should be super happy about this Pokemon Presents. Now, again, I know they didn't show anything about Gen 10, and I know there were some people that were hoping for some kind of announcement with it, but the fact that we saw Mega Evolution, we saw a brand new game, we saw a new concept for a game with champions, and a lot of other things that I didn't watch, whether it be the Pokemon Pocket or like the anime, I think is extremely exciting. Again, the fact that they were able to put together an almost 20-minute presentation on only Pokemon, when you look at Nintendo Directs, and they're like, what, a half hour to an hour long, and they span all these different franchises, I think is super exciting, and again, just shows how big Pokemon has become and will continue to come in the future. So again, a lot of great announcements here in Pokemon Presents. Again, whether you like the Legends Arceus game or you didn't, like I didn't, again, Legends ZA actually looks like a really cool game. And again, even if you didn't like Legends Arceus, I definitely implore you to go give this game a shot. I'm going to, mainly because it's Kalos, and again, I'm a big Gen 6 stan. But again, at the same time, it's a new game. They're adding new things to it. I don't know if I'm going to like it, especially after seeing all the things that they showed here today. But at the same time, you got to give it a shot. Plus, it's in Lumio City, and that's super exciting in and of itself. But again, really awesome Pokemon Present. Glad that we got a lot of new information. Got a lot of new things coming in the pipeline, too. So, again, very, very exciting time to be a Pokemon fan. But thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to go down and drop a like. If you're new, subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time.